how to get rid of aches and pains naturally? That is a great question, and you may even be wondering if that is possible. If you're tired of always suffering with aches and pains and don't really believe that it's just part of getting older, then you are in the right place. I'm here to answer that question in today's video. So let's get started. Hi, I'm Dr. Kelly Shockley, Doctor of Cause, chiropractic, board certified in sports medicine, specialized in clinical nutrition. In this video, we're going to be answering the question, can dehydration cause aches and pains? The answer may surprise you. Then we'll be discussing what you can take for aches and pains that's not an over-the-counter or a prescription. I have a top 3 list of my favorites that actually alleviate aches and pains. And finally, I will be sharing with you a little known reason as to why you continue to suffer with aches and pains. Let's dive right on in. Can dehydration cause aches and pains? And the simple answer is yes, but you need to know why or how. You see, our joints and our muscles and all the connective tissue, they require proper hydration in order to have integrity. Now, there's a thought out there that if you're not getting enough water in, your water kind of prioritizes what tissues it goes to. So you can think of it as water will go to your muscular system mostly first because it's predominantly water. So if you're not getting enough water in, you may not be getting enough to your organ systems, or you may not be getting enough to your joints, because that's the order of operation. If you get enough water in, your muscles will be hydrated, then the organ systems will be hydrated, okay? Then the joints will be hydrated. So here's the rule of thumb when it comes to hydration, because there's so many different thought processes out there. Like, is it just 8-ounce glasses of water? I don't know. The more scientific way to figure out how much water you should be consuming is take half of your body weight, and that's the number of ounces you should be drinking. However, you can drink too much water. So the cutoff is 3 quarts, which equates to 96 ounces, okay? So if you happen to weigh 200 pounds, you don't want to drink more than 96 ounces unless you start adding electrolytes in, okay? Or if you weigh 150 pounds, then you want to be drinking 75 ounces of water every day. If you are then getting half of your body weight in ounces per day, then every tissue in the body should be adequately hydrated. So what happens when you don't do this? Well, if the joints are kind of the last ones to get any of the benefit, then they're not going to be super flexible. They're not going to be pliable. Like, think of your cartilage that's in every single joint that you have. Think of it as a kitchen sink sponge. So let me ask you a question. If that sponge is totally dry, how bendable and flexible is it? It's not at all. In fact, it may even be a little bit on the brittle side. Okay, so let's take that same kitchen sink sponge and throw it into a sink of water. Now it's like fully, hydrated. It's sucked up as much water as it can. But is there any exchange between the water in the sponge and the water that's in the sink? No. This brings me to key 2 that goes along with proper hydration for reducing those aches and pains. You have to have movement, okay? Your joints, your cartilage, everything that's inside of the joints, that is a lot of the reason why people have aches and pains. They do not have an adequate, direct blood supply. So because they don't have a blood supply going directly to them in an abundant amount, they're not getting nutrients delivered to them on a regular basis. But guess what? All of those structures are continually making waste products, regardless on if they're being removed or not. So how is this actually possible? How do they get their nutrition, and how do you get rid of the waste products? We'll go back to that kitchen sink sponge that's in that sink full of water that has sucked up as much water as it can. What's the only way to take that sponge and get the water it currently has in it out and have it suck up new water? You have to squeeze, right? The sponge. It's this process known as imbibation, which means to drink in. So your joints, every time you move, part of what's happening is you're squishing the structures that are in there, specifically the cartilage, which is flushing out the waste products it's continuing making, whether you're moving or not, and it's sucking back in all the nutrients it needs for health, okay? When that process is happening correctly, and there's enough, hydration that facilitates the proper and there's adequate hydration to facilitate the whole process, your joints and the cartilage and the structures within them can be happy and healthy. And that ultimately could be part of what is causing aches and pains, especially if you have stiffness associated with it. So start drinking more water and start moving more. We were not designed to be static individuals. There's so much more to our health, not just joint health alone, that requires us to move. You guys, it's been a few years ago now where science came out and said, hey, by the way, sitting is worse for you than smoking is. It's like the new smoking. There are far more detrimental health effects that happen as a result of us being static. So if you have a desk job, it works really good if you can change your position, right? We want to move or sit on a ball, because that actually does far more for you, and it kind of keeps you moving a little bit while you're sitting compared to the most expensive ergonomic chair. So drink half your body weight in ounces per day, but no more than 3 quarts, and move. And that in and of itself, even though it might be counterintuitive or you may be concerned you're going to feel worse with movement, you're not. You're going to feel so much better, because there's another little secret in here about movement. When you move, even if you just went for a 10-minute walk, your body is going to start to release the most intense, best pain-killing hormone known to man. It's called your endorphins. Those endorphins are also your feel-good hormones. So if you move as simple as a 10-minute walk, you're not going to increase the discomfort that you have, unless you've got an ankle injury. Then of course, maybe walking isn't the best idea. But the point is movement. If you get a little bit of exercise or a little bit of activity, you're going to get those endorphins cranking through your body. And that's going to help reduce, from a natural pain-killing standpoint, that sensation of the aches and the pains. So hydration and movement, those are key. Now I'm curious, did you know that hydration and movement were that important for not only your joint health, but just your overall health and well-being? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective on that. All right, what are some safe alternatives that are not the over-the-counters, not the prescription drugs, that you can take that will still help alleviate aches and pains? I've got 3 of them for you. So let's get into number 1, your omega-3 fatty acids. Now, you may actually know these better as your fish oil or maybe flaxseed oil. Those are your sources for these omega-3 fatty acids. And most commonly, people associate omega-3 fatty acids with cholesterol and heart health, which is true. But guess what? They do so much more for you. Like, they're absolutely important for brain health. They're important for digestive health, but they're super important for joint health as well. They are really good at reducing inflammation. So this is a safe alternative that actually will build your body up, and it won't shut down the healing process, which over-the-counters do if you use them ongoing, to really work at reducing your aches and pains naturally. Therapeutic dose is somewhere around 3 grams a day. Most fish oils out there are about 1 gram per capsule or pearl, okay? So look at, if you're taking these already, look at what the dosing is or what the amount is per pill, and work up towards about 3 grams in a day. The second, best nutrient that I have found really good success for all my patients is magnesium. Now, first of all, magnesium is the most common nutrient deficiency in America. Like 80% of people are deficient in magnesium. And it makes up 1/3 of every single cell in the body. So it's really, really important. But how does it relate to aches and pains? Magnesium is required for proper muscle contraction. So if you have a lot of tightness and tension related to your aches and your pains, magnesium works as a natural muscle relaxer. The key with magnesium, though, is what form you're taking and then how much do you take all at once. The form that works best is not magnesium oxide, which is the most common form of magnesium that you'll find readily available on the shelves. I want you to stay away from that. You can get benefit from citrate, but you can't megadose with citrate, okay? Magnesium citrate. The better forms are magnesium glycinate or magnesium malate. Just remember the G and the M after magnesium. Or ask somebody in the natural food section, like, hey, which magnesium goes to the muscles best, not which one works on the gut. Because guess what? Magnesium in a really high dose of magnesium oxide form or even magnesium citrate is a natural laxative. So unless you have problems in that department, you probably don't want to take a huge amount of magnesium citrate or oxide all together because you'll end up in the restroom, okay? So magnesium glycate and malate are my preferred. Now, dosing. On average, people need about 400 milligrams in a day. But when you're in so much pain or you got so much tension, that doesn't seem to cut it. So the key with magnesium is to drip feed it through the day. It is really well known for helping people go to sleep at night. There's a product out there called Calm that people will use to fall asleep, and it's predominantly magnesium. But here's the thing, you don't worry about falling asleep when you take magnesium in the middle of the day because it's not actually a sedative. Part of why it's helpful for relaxing you at night is because it calms down the muscular system and it's really soothing to the nervous system. It doesn't shut your brain off. I have people take it before they go out and compete. So the muscles have what they need for proper contraction, but also it helps with calming down like pre-competition jitters or like test anxiety, okay? So drip feed it. Maybe take, most pills are around 200 milligrams. You'll have to check to see what you have. But you take some in the morning and some at lunch, some in the afternoon, some before you go to bed. That way you can take a bigger amount, but not have the crazy effects on your digestive system. You're giving the body more time to be able to absorb what you're putting in it. Okay, so that works really, really good. And then my number 3 nutrient that is phenomenal is curcumin. You probably know it better as turmeric. But here's the thing, not all turmerics are created equally out there. There's a lot that just have the curcuminoids in them, which can be very effective for people. But the curcumin, the form of curcumin that all of the research has been done on that really helps relieve aches and pains symptomatically is called curcumin B95. B as in boy, 95. That's what all the research has been done on. That is something that you can take just like you would a Tylenol or an Advil. So you can take a couple every 4 to 6 hours and use it as if it was your over-the-counter, but not get the negative side effects that you would with the over-the-counters. Curcumin is a huge anti-inflammatory as well, but it's also an antioxidant, so it eats up some of the free radicals that are causing damage in your cells, so it can help clean up the mess of the inflammation that's there. Okay, so drip feed that also through the system, but look for the curcumin B95 form. And that will set you up for a lot of symptom relief, especially if you combine all 3 of these, your omega-3 fatty acids, your magnesium, and your curcumin B95. Now, before I get into the little known reason why you're continuing to suffer with aches and pains, I just want to remind you to click that subscribe button down below, turn those notifications on. I am producing videos every Monday through Friday, everything to do with aches and pains, gut health, brain health, like how to improve focus, concentration, you name it, anything and everything that will help set you up to achieve what I like to call total body mastery. And I don't want you to miss out. So just click that subscribe button and turn the notifications on, and we'll see you on the next video when that happens. Awesome. Now, what is this little known reason that I'm talking about that you're continuing to suffer with aches and pains? It's something I like to refer to as your body robs Peter in order to pay Paul. Now, this could get intense, so stay with me. I promise you I will tie it all up in a nice bow, and it will make perfect sense by the time I'm done with it. Here's the thing. In the world we live in right now, we have extreme levels of demand being put on our body. And that means we require more nutrients in order to meet those demands, just for normal function. Our food supply is not as nutrient dense as what it was even 30 years ago, much less alone 50, 100 years ago. So we're kind of mismatched. Now, what does that mean? Ultimately, what that means is if all of the tissues in your body, your organ systems and all this, if they're not getting their nutrient requirements met, your body will sacrifice tissues inside of itself that is not priority for survival in order to reprioritize those assets or to take those nutrients from the tissue that you're breaking down and give it to somewhere else that is more important for you to live. So this is why I say the body robs Peter to pay Paul. Okay? So let me ask you a question, and feel free to participate down in the comments below. I would love to know what your thought process is on this. Now, I'm going to set the stage. Keep in mind, this is about survival, not about comfort, not about what things look like. So if I were to ask you, what does your body think is more important? Your hair, skin, and nails, or let's say your liver? Which one would you choose? Or which one do you think your body would choose? If you said liver, that's correct, okay? Now, what do you think is more important? And this one always trips everybody up. Hormones, or let's say your liver. If you said hormones, you're not alone. That's what most people will say, because we all know, like, there's a huge amount of hormone deficiency problems in America. We know that life is miserable when we don't have proper hormone levels. However, your body will still break down hormones in order to take care of, let's say, the liver. The liver would be more important in this case. Now, why am I bringing this up, and how does it relate to your aches and your pains? Well, I've got another question to ask you. What do you think is more important? Your muscles, your cartilage, your bones, connective tissue, or say your liver? Now, the musculoskeletal system is how we get around. It's what protects all of our organs in that. However, our body will break it down if the liver's needs are not being met. And let me clarify something. I'm not only meaning that the liver is the root cause of all things. No. When I say liver, I'm also meaning all your organs, but I didn't want to say them because that would have given it away. So when I say liver, or your body will rob Peter, so your hair, skin, and nails, your muscles, your joints, your cartilage, your connective tissue, your bone, your hormones, to pay Paul, which is the liver. It's not just the liver. It's the liver, your kidneys, your heart, your pancreas, like all of your organs. Your organs are what is most critical, or are most critical, to keep you alive. And here's the real crazy thing about all of this. You can have, let me say it this way. The body has an amazing reserve tank, and it can run on minimal before you even have any awareness of it. So, did you know that you could have a measly 20% liver or kidney function and have essentially no signs or symptoms of a problem with your liver or your kidneys? Or get this, you could have a whopping 10% pancreas function left and have no signs or symptoms. Have you ever known somebody who was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer? Their prognosis is unfortunately grim, but it's probably because by the time everything gets detected, the function is so low, you're already so far gone. So here's the thing, if liver function or kidney function drops to 19%, now you're on a liver transplant list, or you are now in line for kidney dialysis. And if your pancreas function drops to that 9%, well, probably not going to be around for much longer. This is serious stuff. Again, how does this relate back to aches and pains? Well, by nature, as you heard at the beginning, I am a chiropractor. So I have people come to me all of the time with aches and pains. And a lot of them are chronic. I don't just have people oh yeah, I hurt my back over the weekend. This is an acute thing. Chronic levels of pain. And if a patient comes to me and they've already tried everything under the sun as it relates to the musculoskeletal system. So maybe they've already seen prior chiropractors. They've been going to massage therapists or an acupuncturist. They've tried Rolfing. They've tried different myofascial releases and PT, rehab, all these things. And if they're not getting lasting results, I am not doing a job if all I do is decide to adjust them. Because who's to say that my adjustment is superior to all these other people that they've gone to? No, these other people they've gone to, I'm sure, are phenomenal at what they do as well. The problem is the underlying cause of why there are aches and pains is not being addressed. You see, if it was purely in the musculoskeletal system, the aches and pains will go away. But again, the body will break down muscle, bone, cartilage, connective tissue to free up nutrients to give to the organs if the organs' demands are not being met. So what is the point here? If somebody has an underlying cardiovascular issue or a liver problem or something else going on health-wise, that might be the underlying cause of why they have aches and pains, or why you may be having aches and pains. How in the world do you figure all of this out? Don't worry, There is a way to do this, okay? I actually have for you down below in the description. Like, click on it so it expands out and you can see where the links are. There's a link in there to my 5-day health challenge. And during this 5-day health challenge, I lay it all out with you. I share with you the exact framework I use with my patients to detect what is the cause of your problem. Because if you can't look at the person as a whole and you can't find the actual cause of the problem, you are always going to just be managing symptoms. You don't have to have aches and pains for the rest of your life. We just need to figure out what is aggravating it or what is the underlying cause of why you're having aches and pains. By the time you're done with this 5-day health challenge, which by the way, it does not take like full 5 days, long lectures, it's super easy to get through. And you can get started immediately by clicking that link. By the end of it, you will know exactly how to determine what is causing your aches and pains so that then you will know what the plan is moving forward of how to start reclaiming your health and feeling more vivacious and free and not so old as people call it. You don't have to have aches and pains as you get older. My patients come to me all the time and say, I'm just getting older. I'm like, no, your body's trying to tell you something because every time we have a symptom, it's the body's warning signal that something is wrong. And if you haven't had success with managing aches and pains, it's because you haven't addressed the underlying cause of why you're having them. So click that link down in the description below. I hope to see you on the inside of that health challenge. I'm so excited for you guys. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you on another video. God bless.